Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, Grade 1 action for 3-year-old fillies. It's race number 4 at Belmont Park on the Belmont Stakes undercard, a one-turn mile of the prestigious Acorn Stakes. Let's take a look at this field. Our Acorn Stakes coverage is presented by Naira Bets. And Matt, I could be way off in this race and this whole weekend, but one of my major opinions is that I'm against the Kentucky Oaks winner, Abel Tasman. She was very good that day, no doubt about it, but she got a dream set up from a pace standpoint over a wet track.
Yeah, she certainly did. And, you know, it's one of those things. Am I going to be stunned if she wins? No. But at a shortish price, I think there's some more intriguing alternatives in a race like this.
She's also going to need a little bit of pace up front. Does the Keeneland grad Abel Tasman. She's good, there's no doubt about it. She's a multiple Grade 1 stakes winner. But let's see what the Timeform US pace projector has in store for this year's Acorn. They have Abel Tasman last. It worked out when there was a fast pace. We're expecting sort of just a fair pace in this race, perhaps set by the number 2 Florida Fabulous, who had a minor undefeated streak snapped last time out.
I think it was a combination of things, though. You know, maybe she didn't appreciate the wet track. Maybe she also didn't appreciate, that was the farthest off the pace she'd ever been in her life. In a situation like this, her 2 Gulfstream races, she didn't beat anything, but she did it like a good thing. I wonder, you get a cushy situation like that, maybe she can make this field pay.
The number 7, Sweet Loretta, is 4 for 5 in her career, and all 4 of those wins have come in sprints. She made her seasonal debut in the Grade 3 Beaumont at Keeneland. Javier gave her a beautiful ride where she's tucked in the pocket behind the lead. The rail opened up, she shot on through. Career best buyer by a good large margin. She's been freshened since that race. Good tactical speed. There's a lot to like, but at a short price coming off of a perfect trip, I usually like to look elsewhere.
I've never been a big fan of hers. She also drifted out a little bit down the lane in that Keeneland race, but if you think that the pace projector is accurate, I think Sweet Loretta can be even a little bit closer to this pace. I'm not going to be surprised at all if she works out arguably the perfect trip in here off of Florida Fabulous and is just tough to run down.
Tequilita has an outside chance at a really nice price for trainer Michael Matz. The last time she sprinted or went one turn, she won the Grade 2 Forward Gal Stakes at 7 furlongs. She ran okay behind Salty. We'll get to in a bit in the Gulfstream Oaks. Didn't fire in the Kentucky Oaks. But you could make the argument that even though she's by Belmont Stakes winner Union Rag, she's sort of a one-turn runner at heart.
Yeah, you look at the way that she's run her best races one turn, coming from off the pace. The big concern there becomes, you know, we talked about it, there's not a ton of early gas in here, so maybe it hurts her chances, but I wouldn't give anybody a hard time if they wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt.
One of the longer shots on the boards, the 4, Nikki My Darling. This is an Ohio bred who's really taking a step up in class, but she's won her last 3 races on dirt. In her most recent dirt start at Mahoning Valley, she beat 2 lesser next out winners.
Yeah, and like you say, I mean, it's hard to knock a horse that's in form. She's just a little bit slow.
A couple of horses coming out of the Grade 2 8 Bells at Churchill Downs over a wet track. Benner Island, Union Strike, they ran 1-2. Benner Island, I know you were waiting for the turn back from Benner Island in that race. She really seemed to appreciate cutting back in distance. Was it the wet track? Was it the way the track was playing that contributed to Benner Island's performance, or has she always been a one-turn horse at heart?
It was the perfect storm, no pun intended. You know, she got a great ride. Javier hustled her out of there, recognized that the inside is where you wanted to be, puts her out there, and she hangs on at the end. Union Strike, I think, ran very, very well, all things considered. But you got to keep in mind, too, she was on the inside part of the track throughout as well. So Benner Island, I think she's a nice filly. I think this is probably what she wants. We'll find out what kind of trip she's going to work out. I think if you're Jose Ortiz, you ride her very similarly to the way Javier did.
Yeah, I would try to get her up close to the pace, if not outright on the lead. Try to maybe outfoot Florida Fabulous to the front or sit just off of that horse. As for Union Strike, she was trying to follow Benner Island turning into the stretch, was tightened up at a very crucial point, then switched outside and came with a run. And Mick Ruiz, I think, has realized this horse is a one-turn horse.
Yeah, you know what? She's really... I've never been a huge fan, but I have to start acknowledging she's got some talent. She can run a little bit, and you're right. She got a little bit tight there midway in the stretch, had to alter course and still came on. Would I be stunned if she won? No.
Let's take a look at our top selections for this year's Grade 1 Acorn Stakes. I think the conventional wisdom at the betting windows is going to be that Benner Island was favored by the track, wet track, inside track last time out. You won't get that situation here. I think that she's a 7 furlong, 1-turn, 1-mile horse, and she's going to get the right trip under Jose Ortiz. I think the price will be okay. She's 6-1 on the morning line. I'll give her one more chance, sort of defying the more conventional wisdom that it was the track. 5-3-7-1 for me. But tell us about Salty from Mark Cassey. This is a horse with a lot of potential.
Yeah, and boy, if anyone has an excuse coming out of the Oaks, even though she had the pace to run at, it's Salty, because she had to check about 3 different times, turning for home and then down the lane. This is very, very lightly raced filly. I don't know that we've seen her best just yet. You go 2 back to that Gulfstream Oaks. She blew the doors off that field. Admittedly, not a good field, but she did it the right way. And you look at her one-turn races. I mean, okay, she's a neck away from being 2 for 2 in one-turn races. I think there's a lot to like here. The question and the concern becomes, there's not a ton of pace, so I'm hopeful that Rosario gets her into the running a little bit earlier. Don't come from last, because I don't think you're quite that good. If she gets into the running a little bit earlier, I think she's got a chance.
But we love cutbacks in these 7-furlong, one-turn mile races. We saw it with Benner Island last time out. We saw it with Union Strike 2 starts back in Southern California. We're going to get it with Salty here at 4-1 on the morning line. 8-7-3-1 for Matt in the Grade 1 Acorn. Race number 4 on Belmont Stakes Saturday as an approximate post of 1:11 Eastern. Good luck.